I'm sure it's not shocking to hear, but I'm getting calls as an employment lawyer based in New York and California from Muslim and Arab employees at companies who are engaged in posting and retweeting pro-Palestinian rights posts on Instagram, Facebook, or otherwise. And today is an interesting day because I got a call from someone who was specifically told by her supervisor that not only her supervisor, but others in supervision at the company are closely watching her political posts on Palestine and Israel and are noting that her perspectives, which are pro-Palestinian, are being deemed biased, they're being deemed slanted, and not representative of the views of the people at that company. Now, we are watching in the American workforce this movement to boycott, dox, remove, and impede the ability of people who have pro-Palestinian views from earning a living in the United States. They are intending to signal to this woman that she'll be let go if she doesn't get with the program. The program is their political perspective, whatever that might be. Now, ultimately, New York state law has some protections for people who express political perspectives in public and don't use their company's resources like computers or platforms to do that. If you're doing it on your own time, then it should be protected political affiliation. But one thing that people aren't keeping in mind is that she could also be targeted at work as a result of her showing her positionality as a Muslim woman, as an Arab Christian woman, as a Palestinian woman. What I mean to say here is race or ethnicity or religious identity could all form a basis and create a nexus, so to speak, between the threats against her job and whatever consequences come of that, right? Any adverse behavior that the company takes relative to her employment and the actual identity she carries into the workplace when she has finished making those statements outside of the workplace in her public capacity. So those identities are very relevant to determining whether or not a person has been wrongfully treated. Let's say their hours were reduced, or their role at the company was reduced, or their independent contractor status with the company has been eliminated, or they've been suspended or terminated. All of these things can effectively be the evidence, the crime, the wrongful conduct against that employee for having expressed that view, whatever it might be, in support of Palestinian rights here, and her identity when walking into that space of employment. It's important to keep these rights in mind because we don't always have the language with which to speak to our employer or potential attorneys about what we're going through and what should be protected in the workplace.